All right, welcome to The Mix. Believe it or not, this is the 10th episode of The Mix here at Richpoint Church.
Yeah, confetti flying and all kinds of celebration.
That executive producer, I don't know.
I thought now he's going to have like the t-shirt cannon and shoot stuff at us.
I know.
We cut his budget.
Can you believe it's been 10 episodes?
10 episodes and they've not fired us yet.
I know.
We're still on air.
Well, those people out there might have fired us. They probably just don't watch, so I don't know.
I don't know. It seems like we kind of started slow, but I think we're building momentum. I think we're on pace for an Emmy by this time next year.
All right. So, in honor of the 10th episode.
Yes. Well, first of all,
what are we going to do?
Yeah, thank you for sticking with us. We know our loyal fan base. But two things. Since it's our 10th, not anniversary, 10th episode. Annual would be like yearly, so I can't say anniversary. But 10th episode, we've made it 10 week anniversaries of the mix. We're giving away something, week anniversaries. Make it up, whatever. You know, you're on TV, you can do whatever you want. But it's also Christmas, so we want to give away some stuff. Easy. I saw Chris's face there. So before we get ourselves in trouble, we're giving away one of these special Christmas on Hatfield tumblers. These are limited edition. There are only 52 of these in the world. I said 50, but we actually had 2 extra, so 52 of these in the world. And limited edition, both used to market our event, but also as a fundraiser for all of our Christmas activities. So we want to give away one of these for free in the next 24 hours by 3:47 tomorrow. It is our producer's job to make sure we pull a name of someone who comments in the comments below. And here's what we want to know. Yesterday we kicked off this series all about just how there's complications to Christmas with stories about what is our favorite movie, Christmas movie of all time. I shared a clip from one of my favorite, Christmas Vacation. But we want to know, we heard some people yell theirs out what it was, but we want to know, what is your favorite Christmas movie? In the comment section below, over the next 24 hours, we want to see all of the Christmas movies that are your favorite Christmas movies. And by this time tomorrow, we're going to be able to pick one of those names to be able to receive a winning prize from this.
And just to
Josh
clarify,
is doing stuff behind the scenes. He's being distracting. I apologize.
Just to clarify, it's like we're not going based on your particular movie.
We're going to pick one random movie.
Just random,
Yeah, no.
Like if we don't like your movie, we're not like throwing you out or anything like that.
I don't know. It depends on what it is.
and you have to comment what your movie is.
Comment what the movie is.
The comment movies are the ones that get the choices.
So if yours is Elf, just go ahead and write Elf in the comment section. If it's not, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
I'd have to go with A Christmas Story, which didn't come up yesterday.
Classic. Over easy back there. I got your name right today, by the way. You like that?
I did.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Mine is hands down Elf.
Elf, huh? So we're on the same page. That's one of the rare times that you and I agree on like favorite things to do. We're getting technical difficulties going on. I don't know if I'm live or not, or what's happening.
Okay, so here it's saying we're not. Up there it says we are. I don't know what to do.
We're in the process of firing our executive producer right now. I'm not sure what's going on.
Nothing's coming through sound-wise over here. I don't know. If someone can hear us comment, that'd be great. But it's right here. It says something went wrong. We're having trouble playing this video. Up here, everything's fine. But here, it's saying something went wrong. We're having trouble with your video.
All right. So maybe we should keep going, just in case.
Wait, Abby, are you saying you can hear us?
Who said they can hear us?
Oh, can't see and hear you guys. Okay, good. Thanks, guys. Y'all good.
Who is that?
Don't worry about it.
Who commented that?
Doug and Abby said that we're good. We are rolling.
Thank you guys so much for taking care of us. We appreciate it, because the guy behind the scenes,
he doesn't know.
Don't worry about the man behind the curtain back there. We're not going to pay attention to him anymore today.
All right. So anyway, we got a lot going on this month. So if you didn't get that, we've totally complicated this to go along with our series, which we'll get to in a minute.
Yes,
we got a lot going on.
Meant to do this. This was just an object lesson. Exactly. Like we meant for all that to take place.
So JJ, we've got a lot going on this month. Tell us a little bit about what's coming up on Saturday.
Man, I am so excited. This coming Saturday, we have a special event for the whole family. It's called Pancakes Pajamas. It starts at 10 o'clock. We're having pancakes. We're having all sorts of fun stuff. We keep hearing this special promise that someone special or maybe a couple of special people are going to be there this coming Saturday.
Cool.
So bring the kids, have fun. Even if you don't have children, even if you don't even go to our church, we want to invite you out to a special time of eating some pancakes. I'm going to be behind the scenes. I'm flipping pancakes. I love doing that.
Pancakes? Nice.
So if you want to get some great pancakes and hang out with us.
Plus, I heard gluten-free pancakes.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
If you are gluten-free, we'll have pancakes for you. But if you're not, don't think that's all we're making. Right. For sure.
Okay. All right. There's plenty of gluten to go around.
I have gluten in my pancakes. I know that.
All right.
So, Chris, what about also the next kind of big event after that? Christmas, we have a lot of stuff going on.
The next big event is Christmas on Hatfield, which is what our cup is advertising. But basically, that is our Christmas Eve services. Actually, it's 3 services over 2 days. One of them is actually on what we always call Christmas Eve. So on Saturday, December 23rd at 5:30 p.m., we're doing a service. Then again on Sunday morning, we're doing 2 services, one at 9 a.m. and one at 11 a.m. It's all the same service, so you pick the time that works best for you. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's just kind of our big, Christmas service for the community. We're calling it Christmas on Hatfield because we want everybody to come out. We want people to come, have a lot of fun. So the one on Saturday at 5:30. Actually, that one there's not any kids services going on at that time, but you're welcome to bring the kids with you to the service. We'll be doing some Christmas music and that kind of stuff. So it'll be a lot of fun for them. But then on Sunday morning at 9 and 11, there will be our regular kids services. Behind, you can check them in at the red door. They're going to be having all kinds of fun stuff going on there as well. But two things you really need to know, kind of just to help you out with this. First of all, we do have a Facebook event on our Facebook page that you can kind of get a little bit more information about this. But it also, within it, there's a link to the site, christmasonhatfield.com, which is where you actually get your tickets. We are using tickets for these services, really just for our planning purposes. So we know, like, if we need to bring in some extra chairs, if we need to, especially in the kids areas, where we're going to need to have our volunteers with what age group and that kind of stuff. In fact, with the kids, we ask a little more information. We ask for their name and their age and that kind of thing, just so that we can plan well. But we would love for you to go get those tickets. They're totally free. Get as many as you need. Get them for whoever you're inviting out to the services. We are going to ask for them at the door, so you can either print them out and bring them with you, or you can actually show them on your phone. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Is just have them available for you to show on the phone. But we'd love for you to use those, just really, again, to help us plan so that we make sure we got all our bases covered. So go get your tickets, christmasonhatfield.com.
And while you're at it, one of the things we really want to focus on this year is chasing the 57% of people who say, I would simply go to church on Christmas Eve if someone invited me. And so we have a lot of resources. I already mentioned these cups, and I said this is just a great discussion starter. I love the bright red cup. Christmas Commenting even has a little fancy lid.
Yeah.
And for a special promotion today, if you buy one of these today, you can actually buy them through our kiosk. I'll throw in a special Arctic sticker for free.
Oh, yeah?
Of course, it comes in all the cups, so you get those if you order them tomorrow or next week.
And how much are the cups?
The cups are $20, and it is kind of a fundraiser to help us get to where we want to be in terms of all of the stuff that we're doing this Christmas, because we're putting a lot of stuff out there to help market what we're being able to do.
Cool.
So make sure you get one of the cups. There's also going to be this week invite cards available. I'm challenging everybody to take 20 to 25 of those and spend the next couple of weeks inviting people out to the Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve services that Chris talked about. There's posters, there's all sorts of stuff. And soon, if you volunteered for working those services, the t-shirts are coming in this week as well, so your leader will get with you and let you know when you'll be able to pick up the t-shirts in your specific area.
And those posters are already available. We said the invite cards will be available this week, but the posters are already available now. So if you know a place where we can get one of those posters up, let us know, or you can swing by and get some from us. If you're allowed to put them up at work, or if you just know somewhere where they have a community board, maybe where you live, there's some kind of common area that you can put it up in. Just a great way that you can just kind of help us let people know about what's going on. So
yeah. Definitely.
So yesterday, JJ, you kind of use your Christmas lights to kind of introduce the series really and the sermon, and I really kind of identified with that because the day before you asked me last week about did we have our Christmas tree up? Well, we did get our Christmas tree up.
Good
we got
job.
it decorated. The kids,
you took some criticism on Facebook.
I did. I took a little flack for not being there, not ready. So I had to get that done this week. So we got the Christmas tree up, got the house inside pretty well decorated. So then Saturday, we decided we're going to try to tackle the outside. And so I wasn't feeling very good, but we got some lights out. And somebody had given us some lights. In fact, I think a couple of years ago, someone had shown up at our house and decorated our outside of our house for us. They were just really awesome. Well, they left those decorations. So I pulled them out, started trying to set them up, and because I had never set them up before, I wasn't really sure what parts went with what. And after a while, I almost felt like I needed to quit working on a church staff because there was some I definitely fit in the Grinch category that we were talking about yesterday. Yes. And I finally just gave up, to be honest. I didn't even plug them in to see if the lights worked. I couldn't get them set up. So they all just went back in the garage. They even not back to where they belong. They're probably headed to the garbage. I don't know. I still haven't decided yet. But,
man, so if you want some free lights, this guy's house right there.
I don't promise that they work. So, but anyway, so I really identified with what you were talking about yesterday, and really kind of the big idea for yesterday and really for the whole series is this idea that the process of Christmas is tedious, but the hope of Christmas is tremendous. Mm-hmm. So kind of just, obviously you went into more detail yesterday, but give us a little recap of what that means.
It's easy to look at kind of the process versus the promise of Christmas and the seed and Christmas lights and all that stuff. And all those things were simply an analogy for where we're going. That we fast forward, like I said yesterday, we fast forward to the Gospel of Luke, and it's a story we've heard. It's a story that Charlie Brown tells in the Peanuts Christmas story, and all that stuff. We fast forward to that part. We don't realize the traumatic experience it was waiting for the coming of Jesus for hundreds and thousands of years, and that there was this complicated system that as soon as sin entered in the world, God said, okay, there's going to be a temporary way to take care of the sin problem, but it's going to be very complicated for the people that are there, and it's going to involve the killing of animals and sacrificing them just right, and there are special days of atonement and special priests they had to go through. And there's a very complicated system that ultimately, when Jesus enters into that religious foray, when he enters into that religious world, he's coming as a baby, but ultimately to abolish all of that stuff, all the way they used to do things. And it was very complicated to get there. The process, the sin and the punishment and even the death that came because of the punishment was difficult. But Jesus comes ultimately to say, I've come to abolish the old way of doing things, and I've come to bring something better. Mm-hmm. And so the whole idea of this series is that Jesus came into this complicated world and this complicated system to be able to make things easier. That once the light comes on for us, that it makes it easier. I'm thankful today that I'm not one that has to go and slaughter animals for my sins to be forgiven. Mm-hmm. That literally Jesus dying in my place took care of that for me. Mm-hmm. In fact, I mentioned a verse from Hebrews yesterday about just how he did away with that was old, and he replaced it with what's new. But really throughout the book of Hebrews, there are other different parallel passages that seem to indicate the very same thing. In Hebrews 8, verse 13, it says, in speaking of a new covenant or New Testament, but this new promise that God has, in speaking of the new covenant, he makes the first one, that is the first covenant, the Old Testament, obsolete. And what is becoming obsolete and growing old is now ready to vanish away. Mm. And so literally Jesus says, what was there was complicated. I've come to abolish that which is complicated to make it so much more simple.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes, I think a lot of times that's what people, especially in the system that Jesus stepped into, a lot of the people that struggled the most with Jesus was, it's like they didn't want to let go of this complicated system. We as humans, I think we tend to try to make things more complicated. That we always do that, especially if you want to figure that out, go back to listening to us describe how to win that cup. So
yeah,
right. I mean, seriously. But anyway, so we try to make things more complicated, and yet here's this idea that is so much, this new covenant, this new promise that's so much simpler.
Absolutely.
Now, obviously that's a huge idea, especially this idea that that we find tremendous hope in, that the promise of Christmas is tremendous, or this hope that we find in Christmas. So let's talk about, like, over the next couple of weeks as we get into this series and more, what are some practical things that we're going to kind of do with that where we can maybe kind of step in and be some hope for somebody else?
First of all, yesterday when I spoke, is Jesus brings order out of chaos, and this next week we'll talk about how Jesus he came as light into a very dark world. I believe that in many ways, the world that we're living in today, there's as much discord, as much animosity and hatred as there's ever been. And so because of that, Jesus comes to bring light into the darkness. He did that 2,000 years ago, and he calls us to do the very same thing today. That is our responsibility to shine as lights in the world. So we're just going to look for some very practical ways to do that. There's some small things. We actually have a couple of families that have approached us that are looking for, hey, we're just trying to provide Christmas for our family. Do you know people would want to help out? And so we have a couple of families that are looking for that if you want to get plugged into that. This coming week, I'm going to challenge people in particular to look for small opportunities to just be able to do that. I'll give you some specific examples this coming Sunday, but just look for opportunities. We hear story after story of people getting in line at Starbucks, and they buy the drink of the person behind them, and they keep passing it on, and you pay it forward. Just looking for opportunities to do that. And I'm going to share probably a personal story of a chance that I had to be involved in a situation like that, where it was God doing it entirely, but using that situation. But then along the way, this coming Sunday, we'll share a video of something that took place last week on Christmas Eve. Some of you know Karen and would know her story. So we're gonna kind of replay that video, and we're gonna talk about a very specific opportunity over the course of the next 2 weeks, a specific opportunity to do something the very same way this coming Christmas. So we're gonna help out us family in a very special way.
All right. So So we I think we've covered most everything. The one last thing that we wanted to share, obviously, as we move into the Christmas season, we're always encouraging people to take next steps in their faith. And as part of this Christmas season, we just thought it would be a great opportunity if somebody wanted to kind of express their newfound faith in Jesus through baptism. We wanted to offer that. We're planning a baptism service on the 17th. So if you're interested in that, maybe you started following Jesus and you've never really kind of publicly told anybody that, baptism is a great way to do that. And if you're interested in that, you can actually email me, chris@ridgepointchurch.org, or you can call us here at the church, and we'll be glad to talk to you through that, what that looks like. But it'd be a great way to just really celebrate the Christmas season as we celebrate this idea that Jesus came to bring this new way of doing things, and we get to be a part of that. So
definitely
huge. So anything else?
How about back in the back, over easy? Do we have anything that we we missed or didn't cover?
We getting any comments on the favorite movies yet?
We did. As I was going to say, I think we got everything. Just a reminder, post your favorite Christmas movie for a chance to win a cup, and tomorrow at 3:45 we'll announce the winner.
Definitely. So what are some of the comments so far? Anything good?
My favorite, honestly, on here so far is Ernest Saves Christmas.
Ernest Saves Christmas. Ernest P. Worrell, huh? I got to know who posted that one.
That was Lisa. That was Lisa Wills.
Lisa, man, I didn't expect that either. That was good.
So we got Christmas Story, Home Alone 1 and 2.
Wow.
And The Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey version. So
yeah, I got you. A couple of years ago, I had a friend that was in the area for a while. He's from Ridgepoint for a while, and we actually found out. I didn't even know this existed, but there's actually a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2, where it's all about Cousin Eddie. Now we both bought it. I've never watched it. My friend told me don't. It's that bad. So
it's bad.
So it's out there. In fact, I don't know where it is anymore, but it's out there if you ever want to know about that.
Okay.
So also, right. this is because I love Tanya so much. I don't know if she likes what we're doing or if I like this as a movie, but I like this as here as well. Is that a movie, or do you think she just likes?
I think she likes us. I'm just being honest.
So that's it, though, man.
Maybe she just likes that she's not here with us right now.
Because had she not had to leave, she was going to be up in one of the chairs.
That's true. So we were going to have her talk about pancakes.
She was ready to go, though. Yeah. She was so anyway. So thanks for checking us out. Don't forget this coming Saturday is Pancakes and Pajamas at 10 o'clock. By 3:45 tomorrow, get your favorite Christmas movies in. And if none of those things are your interest, then be here Sunday 9 and 10:45.